Good morning and welcome to the Media Speaks Live Saturday morning news show. I'm D. Lake for Prez, David Lake. Keep it coming. Thank you. No, thank you very much. I'm joined this morning by Kyle Phillips, KP of the MediaSpeaks.com, Nosehair 515, the technician on a mission, Kyle Phillips.
Is there applause happening right now? Is there? Hi, thank you, people. Pleasure to be here.
So great to have you on the show. We're also joined by Sam I.B. DeGangi, Sam of the Correct Views and the Fantastic Mind.
Greetings, unsettled souls. Welcome to the Saturday edition. And D-Lake's got some stuff planned today, I hear.
That is true, Sam. We have a Sidewinder show. We're just going to be bouncing around from topic to topic because there's been so much happening in the news this past week. As you can see from today's headlines, Obamatrade derailed. Obamatrade is a package of trade deals that include the TSA, the TPP, Trans-Pacific Partnership, the Transatlantic Partnership. But to get all that crap passed, that's in a secret room that, only congressmen and those people deemed worthy can go down into the private special room and read the text and know what's been being planned for over 6 years in private secret meetings such as Bilderberg and other confabs of a secret nature. Anyways, they tried to get the TAA, the Trans Assistance Authority, and the TPA, which is better known as Fast Track. That's the Trade Promotion Authority, which allows the executive and the president to just bring to Congress a bill with just an up or down, yes or no, no amendments, only a 50-50, vote. Like if we get 51%, boom, we got it. Well, before we even got to that stage, just yesterday on Friday, Nancy Pelosi took a brave step. Oh, did Nancy Pelosi take a brave step, Sam? She sided with the winning side that voted like 300-something to 100-something.
I was wondering about that. I didn't want to interrupt you. I had heard that she said she was against it before I went to bed. And when I awoke to get a drink, I had seen that she was, in fact, for it. Yeah, exactly what is the Pelosi stance here? Because she got a thank you from Judge Napolitano, which he wrote, yep, hurts me to say it, and thanked her for being on the right side. So at what time did she waffle? Clear that up for us, please.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, she kept her opinion very close to the chest until the final moments, and Obama made a last-minute ditch effort to address leaders at the congressional baseball game. Well, I don't know if you know, but I'm pretty sure, according to history, that Ron Paul is the only one to hit a home run at one of those congressional baseball games. Maybe Kyle could look that up, but I'm pretty sure
I was
right
already looking that up right when you said it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm right about that one. But if he wasn't the only one, I think he was the first one. Anyways, Ron Paul dominates even on the congressional baseball group. But Obama showed up there in a last-minute ditch effort to get him hyped up. They said Congress people from the stands were chanting TPA, TPA. And again, the TPA, the Trade Promotion Authority, is better known to all of you as Fast Track. Fast Track. Like the president needs Fast Track. That's the only way we're going to get the TPP passed. Working with 11 different
with
Pacific countries.
Yeah, you know me.
But anyway, real quick, Sam, just to answer your question about Nancy Pelosi, she played it real close, and then she announced that she is voting no or voting against passing the fast track. She says we want to slow things down, but the vote came down to 300 to 100, and so she was on the 300 side saying we don't want this, but forget all the other 300 people. She's the one that's the hero in all this.
Well,
Ron Paul hit the first over-the-wall home run in 1979, by the way.
Right.
And she seems to be doing okay. It's like the only time we've ever actually had anything that actually points that Nancy Pelosi could be right about something. I don't know that this has ever happened before. If she's even like leaning towards stopping it, I almost wonder, maybe Rand Paul sneezed on her, maybe, Justin
Yeah.
Amish. Maybe Justin Amish's aftershave had inspired her when he walked by. I don't know.
Maybe
But
maybe she's not such an idiot, right? And maybe some of these Democrats aren't such stupid idiots.
But
But
see, the words don't even roll off the tongue well. You know what I mean? It's so hard to say.
yeah.
Isn't it funny? Like, I've been listening to this a little bit on the radio, local radio and stuff, and one, they don't talk about any of the trade bills at all. They just talk about, like, gotta
They're
pass
so
this trade stuff.
Could she be
No,
jockeying for a VP with Mrs. Clinton?
Well, here's the deal, Kyle. House Democrats rebuff Obama on trade, delivering major defeat. One of the main proponents of the trade deal is former vice presidential candidate who, before Friday, it was like on Wednesday or Thursday, they were saying that Paul Ryan is pulling a Nancy Pelosi because he said, like, you'll find out what's in the trade agreement after we pass it. Similar to the way that Nancy Pelosi formerly said, we have to pass Obamacare to find out what's in it. And when these deals get packaged when these deals get packaged like Obamacare, Obama trade, when it's got the cat's name on it, okay. Go ahead, Kyle. What do you think? It's all a big
It's just
secret.
like,
We don't know. We don't know.
You get to find out after you pass it. That's how democracy works. Like, that's how we're supposed to be doing things. And they won't tell us anything. They keep talking about it on the radio, like, which is really, really bizarre to hear these radio people like, Obama and the Republicans are working together and need to get the other Democrats on board. It's like, if that doesn't tell you that we have a one-party system, I don't know what will. It's like, let's talk about what's actually in it. Because all they're talking about is like, well, they got to get the Democrats on board. Like, how about, why aren't they on board? What's in it? Tell us what's in it. Like, I feel like a crazy person. Like, how is this even possible? And it's not even one. It's like, how many different trade bills are included in this? Like 5?
What is the basis, if you could look it up, for them making it legal to hide what's inside in something? What grounds are they using that that's even legal?
Sam, 2 fucking words, baby. National security.
Well, yeah, but again, if that would imply that the congressman couldn't leak it, not that they shouldn't be allowed to see it.
Well, Judge Napolitano said that there should be a brave congressman to stand up and say, you know what? I'm leaking it. I'll go to prison to leak it.
D-Like,
you.
You just won the Kyle Phillips Grand Prize giveaway. You have 2 options. You can take nothing, or let me get some sound effects here. You have your 2 options. You can take nothing, D-Like, or you can take the mystery box. What do you choose? You can't look in the mystery box. You might open it and it just shoots you in the face. It might be a bomb, but you don't get to open it. Either nothing or the mystery box.
I would take the mystery box to give away, D-Like. That's my suggestion.
Have there been any previous other people to open the mystery box?
Yeah, Bill Clinton opened it.
Okay, yeah, I'll take nothing. Thank you.
Thank you.
He used a can opener and a pair of tin snips.
Here is nothing, D-Like. Thank you.
Yeah, you would have won the Trans-Pacific Partnership.
Oh, is that what I would have got?
Took the mystery box.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton was the last person. He got NAFTA. So.
Yeah. I mean, there's forget any giant, huge sucking sounds, right?
I am looking up, by the way. I'm trying to find like what the official
loves
reason
big,
is.
Huge sucking sounds. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I do. They impress me. Oh, here we go. From Salon.com, so I have to click it. I just have to see what Salon.com says. The depressing explanation why the Trans-Pacific Partnership is being kept secret. Trade rules proposed, blah, blah, blah. But don't ask what they are. Access to the text is highly restricted. Yeah, it doesn't.
Kyle, see what you can find on Salon.com, that most reputable news source, and then Sam, if you could address what Kyle finds.
Let's see.
I'm looking. I'm looking at his screen.
Furman, for instance, said Switzerland that none of the trade participants want to lower our health, safety, or environmental standards. Yet one of the leaks showed the U.S. proposing. Yeah, I know that. Director General, World Trade Organization, were asked at the Economic Forum why they're concealing the TPP from public at the same time the European Union has just published the full text of a separate proposed trade agreement with the United States. Yeah, there's no answer in here. There's no answer. It's just like everything that I'm finding is stuff saying that it is secret, but there isn't even an explanation. Usually you get a bullshit explanation at least, but I'm getting nothing here. Here's one.
And what amazes me the most is that nobody seems to find it unusual that you're not allowed to know what's in something that's about to be voted on. At least everybody imagined and what they had in Obamacare. I want to say they wanted it to go through on the sheer hope that it was good.
Well, I was listening to the Nerdist the other day, and he had on Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's going to be in the Edward Snowden movie, and so he's been doing a lot of research into Edward Snowden. There's like rumor that he might have even had an interview with him to talk about things. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt from like Third Rock from the Sun and Inception and stuff, like an actor, he made an amazing point, which is that you look at all this stuff and it blows your mind, but the sad fact of the matter is most Americans don't give a fuck as long as there's food on the table and they feel that their family is safe. They don't care. They don't want anything to do with it. As long as they're not being taken to a concentration camp, they're fine with the government doing whatever the fuck they want. And that's a serious it's a scary problem that people care more about who wins the World Series than about the fact that Congress isn't even allowed to read shit before they sign it into law. It's mind-blowing. It really is.
And excuse me. And Kyle, how do you feel about someone like Rand Paul's bill that says that everyone has to read it? It has to be. I don't know how you prove you read it. Maybe you got to do a book report or take a test or something. I mean.
Yeah, fucking A. You should do a book report, and everybody should have to read theirs.
And
you should all have to read your book report.
I don't know if it was in in Rand Paul's bill, but I think it was in a previous Ron Paul bill that like bills themselves and these agreements and trade deals and treaties and whatnot, they can't be longer than like X number of pages, Kyle, because everyone has to read it. I mean.
Well, yeah, it's like reading your user agreement when you sign up for iTunes. Like nobody knows what's in there. Even if you read the entire thing, it's like reading something in Latin. Like you don't know what it says. Like it should be clear, plain English. And like, you know what? No more naming bills. How about that? No more naming bills because they use that in such a sketchy way. Obamacare, Obamatrade Agreement, the Patriot Act, the Freedom Act. How about you call it the fucking bill name and you have to tell people what's in it? Well, what is, whatever U2537? Oh, well, you have to read it to know what it is. We're not going to give it a fancy little name that makes.
Well, you just brought up a couple.
This TPP like to harken back to what you did last week. Sure. Are you trying to tell me, guys, that the TPP is actually like Kris Jenner? You go to the bar, you bring home this girl, and
Caitlin.
Dear God, you take off the wrapping, and it's different than it looked on the package. Are you trying to tell me that this deal could actually have a hidden dick in it? Is that what you're telling me?
What I'm trying to tell you, Sam, is
treaty, I should say.
Sam, look, what I'm trying to tell you and what I was trying to tell Kyle is, yeah, they have certain names like TPP is the Trans-Pacific Partnership. It all gets bundled into Obamatrade, which is in today's headlines. Yes, Sam, last week I did a show, Call Me Caitlin. I just wanted to point out there's no such thing as chicks with dicks. It's dudes with boobs. I don't think that Bruce Jenner, who I accidentally called Bruce Gender.
I call him Kris Jenner, so you're doing better than I am.
I don't think, spelled with a K, I don't think that, I don't think he's going to last if he chops his penis off, he's going to commit suicide from phantom penis within a relatively short period of time. It was last Saturday that I discussed D-Lake undergoing a race change, in which I talked about how I was going to undergo a race change to become a black person. And then just this week, black or white, woman's story stirs up a furor. She has professed an affinity for black people since she was a teenager when her parents adopted 4 black children. She chose a college where she could immerse herself in racial issues. She married a black man and built a reputation as an advocate for civil rights. She is the president of the NAACP in Spokane, Washington. There she is. Let me scroll down to this picture, Kyle, and I just like to get your thoughts on there's Rachel when she was young. I thought I had a link where I had the 2 pictures side by side, but
no, I think I've seen pictures of her side by side. So she did melatonin injections, right?
I don't know if she did melatonin or just a good tan.
Good tanning.
But that's just one of a couple major race issues going on in America, as seems to be a really big issue and deal. And I think she's posing with this gentleman as if it's her father, but really her parents are white, and they're upset that she's doing this. Shana Poohpooh Latrice at the Brookfield Zoo this week said, "What's up, y'all? At work serving these rude-ass white people." I think some people complained to her employer. She's since been fired from her job, and now she has her own Facebook page. Kyle?
She claims that she quit, by the way. She claims that she quit, but she got fired. If you look into it, yeah, they fired her.
Okay.
And her
can you talk about
her real name is... Yeah, well, first of all, her real name, and this is like, I point this out because this is what made this story for me. Her name isn't Shana Poohpooh Latrice. Her name isn't even Shana Latrice. Her name is Rochelle Latrice Robinson, which is like a fairly normal name, but no, she prefers to go as Shana Poohpooh Latrice, which I find hilarious.
I poo-poo on that.
She posted...
That is the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the poo-poo, right?
Lean a little bit closer, smell the roses. You know the lyrics, guys. But and this is the funny thing. First of all, I want to say, yeah, she posted that on Facebook, and she tagged herself at Brookfield Zoo, which generally people at Brookfield Zoo are patrons of the zoo, so you had to have thought, like, people who come to this zoo are going to see this, and you, in your work uniform, posting on Facebook about the customers while on the clock. Like, everything about it is stupid. I'm not offended. Like, I'm not the least bit offended that you're a racist who doesn't like white people. That's fine. That doesn't really affect me in any way. I'm not going to get all, like, bent out of shape about it. But what I find hilarious is somebody started this page, I Stand with Shana Poohpooh Latrice, on Facebook, which I think originally started out for people who legitimately, like, backed her up and think she should get her job back, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like, when you think about it, D-Lake, if you posted at my work and you tagged yourself at your work, like waiting on all these rude-ass black people, you would not only be fired, but you would have to fear for your life. Like, there would be, like, serious threats coming your way, like, if any of us was to do that. So, absolutely, the company had to cover their ass and fire them. If anybody else did that at work, it doesn't matter what race it was aimed at, you will get fired for that. But there's people who believe that she should have her job back, which is hilarious. But then this page has this page has just turned into, like, yeah, there's some funny memes on there and stuff, but for the most part, just, like, the most ignorant black and white people just saying the stupidest shit they possibly can. Like, like, you're on the page right now, like, and you said that you've looked through it a little bit, D-Lake. Like, have you ever seen stupider things said than on this page?
Well, I mean, last week I did a show saying a lot of stupid shit about how I wanted to undergo a race change to be black. And then I see things on this page. I'm trying to find the one that oh, Jesus, Kyle.
Oh, yeah, that.
Oh, okay. White girl's kryptonite. Okay. Oh, interracial relationship.
There's a lot of pictures like that, which are pretty...
Yeah. Oh, here's the one. Everybody want to be black. A 39-year-old white male in Australia took injections of synthetic melanin hormone in 2003. And there you can see, actually, the picture makes it look like he actually did change his skin tone to be black.
Yeah. And, like, but what's funny is people are posting pictures like that with a comment like, everybody want to be black. It's like, no, that dude wants to be black, and that's fine. But everything in here will be like a picture of one white person or one black person, and like, see, all black people or all white people are like this. Like, one person actually said, I couldn't help myself, I interacted. They were like, why do all white people think that black people can't live successful lives? And I commented on it, and I made a meme of the person, like, pretty much saying, like, you realize what you just said is the definition of racism. You just, like, made a huge general assumption about all white people and what they believe. Like, you yourself are a racist. Like, and then I got called a bitch, like, 30 times, which was totally expected. I shouldn't have tried.
Yeah, Kyle, what are you thinking? Trolling on this page where someone posts, I heart being white. Anyways, the page goes on and on. It was all spawned by Shana Poohpooh Latrice, who
deleted her Facebook page because, yeah, of course, and anytime something like this happens, the side that will be on her side posts a ton of pictures of her at 8th grade graduation, but then other people are like, well, what about all these pictures of her flicking off the camera and making gang signs? Which to me is kind of irrelevant. Like, to me, like, I don't even care about the interpersonal workings of this lady. I just know that she did something unacceptable that will get you fired no matter where you work. Like, I found the name funny. That's what got me involved in it. And I have changed my Facebook name to Kyle Poohpooh Phillips.
And should the deemed actually white by her parents on her birth certificate, now with a darker tan, a bronzer, and kinky froish hair, should she be relieved from her duties as president of the NAACP Spokane, Washington chapter for ethical reasons? Because that's what
no, I think it is a interesting point that while everybody's so like bent out of shape about racism lately, which to me I don't see it in my personal life.
That's the point that I'm that is the main issue that I'm trying to point out here. That Sam, I mean, you're not someone that really talks too much per se about racial issues, and I mean, do you feel that within the past years of the Obama administration, 6 years plus, do you think that racial issues have become more of an issue, and is it because we have the first black president? And do you believe that just one drop of blackness will make you black?
I'm a firm believer that this is a direction that they want us to go in, more than a direction that we've gone in. And I think it has to do with the rise of what is commonly known as the hip-hop culture. And by that I mean there was, and this is a very white story here, there was a brief rise in the 90s about people that were taking satanic death metal just a little bit too far. And for those of you that don't know, that is very white music. And at least the way it's sold. And they started killing people, and they were burning down churches that have been around almost since Christ was. Very, very rotten, nasty people. Well, in this country, the very worst, the gang culture, no matter what color you are, tends to be glorified the way our media portrays it, as a black issue. And I think it's stemming from that. I don't know too many black people, and I work with a lot of them, too many black people that want to be shot by anybody of any color. I don't really see a lot of racism towards whites. Once in a while it'll come up because I think sometimes the media will also portray it in such a way that a black person thinks that it has to do with their color. For instance, there are a few Marilyn Manson songs that I'm allowed to play where if management was able to understand exactly what it was he was saying, I probably couldn't play it anymore. If somebody asks for a rap song and they're dropping N-bombs and they're talking about selling grams, I'm not allowed to play it. And people will assume that that's because they're, or that's because they're black. They don't understand that I'm not allowed to play screaming death metal either. And nobody can make out a word. Not allowed to play it. I think sometimes we're told to look for racism where it isn't. And I think those three things that I just mentioned are where this is coming from, more than from the minds and hearts of people of either race.
Well, and I think you're right, Sam, and we have a lot of people who is pushing this. It's tough to say, but there's there's a lot of people who are put into this mindset of always think racism first. Like, I had somebody at my work who caused problems multiple times when they were in the store. They were rude to me. They made personal insults at me for no reason. I tried to be nice to them. I tried. This was over multiple times they came into the store. The last time that they came in, as they left, they took a big glass mug and they threw it into the parking lot, and it shattered all over the parking lot, right by my truck, by the way. That's what I think they were aiming for. So the next time they come in, I say, get the fuck out of here. Like, you can't come in this store anymore. Leave now. Oh, I'm going to call the police. You can't call the police because I want a restraining order against you. I want to no trespass. Well, you're just racist.
Kyle,
No, it's because you threw shit in the parking lot.
Kyle, that's an individual case scenario based on the content of his glass-throwing character.
Yes, like if anybody threw shit at my truck in the parking lot, I would tell them to get the fuck out next time they come in the store.
Yeah, so it was an individual thing. It wasn't all black people or all fucking white clerks that work at the fucking... But
you can see it, I think, D-Lake and Kyle, I think you can see it, too, in ways like everyone knows who Kanye West is. Well, no one knows who The Heavy is, and they're an awesome band led by a African-American who has an amazing voice, and nobody has any idea who the hell they are. The media doesn't consider him to be black because they want black to be portrayed as thug, and if you can't do that, then the media doesn't like you any more than they like the average middle-aged white man.
They don't like booty. They don't like booty.
They can't start a war with you. Yeah, if you're not using the word booty, then you got no hope.
I saw a dude.
Your name is Hootie. Your name is Hootie. It rhymes with booty, but yet you cannot get represented as a black artist.
I saw a dude who was like about the most like redneck looking dude ever walk in with a shirt with Hootie on it because he's like a country musician now, right?
Yeah.
And it's like right there, it's like, what, is that guy racist just because he's a redneck? And the part of the problem is, if you try and look up anything having to do with race on the internet, it gets clouded by this, like, I'm going to call them the anti-1%. They're like this 1% of the population who is just obsessed with making fake profiles and saying the most absurd shit they possibly can everywhere on the internet. Type it, like, find any article about Shana Poohpooh Latrice and look at the comment section. And so somebody reads that article because it comes up on their Facebook feed, and they go down to the comments and they see all this shit, this horrible shit being said from both sides, and they go, well, that's what people are like. Like, no, that's like the bottom 1%. That's the fucking, that's the shit that settles at the bottom of the sewer.
Okay, and everyone, I posted the link to Shana Poohpooh Latrice's Facebook page in the description of today's video. You're welcome to go click on that, determine your own, your own thoughts and opinions on race or where you stand. But something that we posted on June 9th, celebrity hashtag Black Lives Matter protester recognizes lots of familiar faces in McKinney, Texas. Now, McKinney, Texas is the place where the white cop was doing his Paul Blart dropping rolls. He tripped over a tree branch or some bullshit. Then he was pinning young black girls in their bikinis to the ground. A whole furor came out this week about was the story right or wrong. But what I wanted to point out is this celebrity hashtag Black Lives Matter Twitter phenomenon protester, he recognizes a lot of the same faces in Texas at a protest that he recognized from Ferguson and Baltimore and Milwaukee and D.C.
So they're just traveling protesters.
So there's a traveling protest in the United States, and as you scroll through the Twitchy, okay, D-Ray said all this bullcrap. And then people are like, funny how that works out. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for confirming the movement is full of paid left-wing hacks who protest for a living. George Soros has a big wallet. I mean, did this guy know when he posted that he was basically it's
calling it out
as if professional race bait. Kyle, it's almost as if professional race baiters funded by George Soros are traveling from town to town. Now, I don't know the last time you took a vacation or came out to San Diego, Kyle, but how much does it cost to get from, I don't know, Ferguson, Missouri to Baltimore to D.C. To McKinney, Texas, and see all the same people? How much does that cost?
How much
Shit
are
ain't
the
free.
hotels? Who's feeding the travelers?
How much time are you getting off work? Or is, I don't know, that your fucking job?
Yeah, I mean, if I wanted to take off once a month and just travel 1 or 2 states over, that's expensive. Just to travel from where I'm at to,
Yes.
say, Sam over there in Ohio, you're talking about, $60, $70 worth of gas each way, and then you got to stay somewhere, like Sam said, like just to travel 2 states over is going to cost you, $150 both ways. Even if you take the megabus, which sucks, the megabus is even going to cost you
hell.
$60, $70 each, like. It's going to be expensive. And don't take the megabus. Don't anyone take that as me saying take the megabus. It's horrible.
Yeah, we're not promoting the megabus. Look, AJ says, I don't know who is paying them, but they are definitely traveling from town to town, agitating without regard for the truth. And then Scott and SC says, Soros is paying them. Soros. George Soros. And now George Soros is teaming up with Hillary Clinton and dumping a bunch of money to change, voting rules so that all the voting rights and rules and, early voting and 30-day voting and we don't even need an ID, all that shit, they're trying to promote so that all the Mexicans that just came across the border can vote for fucking Hillary. George Soros funds Ferguson protests, hopes to spur civil action. There's a solitary man at the financial center of the Ferguson protest movement. No, it's not victim Michael Brown or Officer Darren Wilson. It's not even Reverend Al Sharpton. Blah, blah, blah. And, I mean, what are George Soros's connections to something like, I don't know, also in today's headline, Sam, Bilderberg 2015?
And I can tell you this from past experience, D. Like when Christelle and I made the movie Bilderberg, Why It Mattered to Me, it cost us about $500 when all was said and done. Gas, the hotel room, and I was only there for 2 nights. I wasn't protesting all the entire time because I had to work the Thursday and to still get there from Ohio to Virginia. It was about $500 to give you some idea of the amount of money Soros is spending, just to ballpark what it cost me in 11.
Yeah, so that is bizarre. That I'd be curious to see if anybody's done any like matchups of the same protesters in different places. In fact, I'm going to look that up. Because, I don't know, but I just think it all comes back to, like, you see all this in the news, you see these dumbass people on Twitter and on Facebook and on Huffington Post comment sections just saying the stupid, most racist, vile shit that they can come up with fake names and fake profile pictures, and you walk outside and I know plenty of black people who I like, who I enjoy their presence, who are totally nice people. We get along fine.
Indeed.
The only people that I have an issue with, I'm sorry, it's not black people, it's fucking thugs. Like, thugs, and like there are white thugs as well as there are black thugs. Not so many Asian thugs, not gonna lie. But like that is the problem, is a subculture that embraces and endorses illegal activity and activity that is non-beneficial to the rest of the community. It's as simple as that.
Right, guys, can you guys hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Okay, because I thought I was saying something in my mute button. The show's a little, I hope it doesn't come out as skippy as it seems like it is right now, but getting into the Bilderberg agenda, to go back to what Kyle was just saying, Kyle, Mexicans don't protest when a Mexican guy gets arrested or beat down by the cops because Mexicans know that Mexican that was beat down by the cops probably deserved it. Yeah. They know he was fucking around and doing the wrong thing.
Well, yeah, same thing. Like if a white dude gets arrested, like, well, what did he? Like, why? Cops aren't just running up to anybody, just arresting people for no reason. Like I saw a video just recently.
No, Kyle, they want you to know that the only reason that
you could argue that some of the
only
DUIs
reason that black people are abused by the cops and arrested is because of slavery, and we need some reparations. Look, guys, I'm undergoing my race change, so I really need to get the Black Lives Matter rhetoric down so I can travel state to state.
You do. I saw a video yesterday, and the video was titled Black Men Kicked Out of Walmart for Shopping Too Slow. Have you seen this video?
Shut the fuck up.
It's 3 and like
shopping
that sounds
too slow?
Yeah.
Or shopping too sneaky?
Well, here's the thing. It's three guys, and first of all, this is the part where right at the beginning, I'm like, well, fuck you guys. One of them's riding around in the electric cart, you know, the one that's meant for like people who have disabilities and
Oh
people.
yeah, I saw the lady jump out of the fucking electric cart to start fighting that other bitch with her son in the Walmart aisle. But anyways,
Yeah.
Kyle, sorry, go ahead.
Like if I'm sorry, if I was like the manager of a store, if you don't need that thing and you take it from the front, get the fuck out now. Like those are for people who need them. Simple as that. Those are not for you to just have fun. And they were riding around on this thing and walking around Walmart for over an hour, and they didn't have anything. Like, they did not have a single thing to purchase in the cart, in their hands, anything. So that's not shopping slowly. That's not shopping. That's not shopping. So they were asked to leave. They refused to leave, so they called the police. The police told them to leave. And if they didn't leave, that they were going to be arrested. They're fighting it the whole way. They get out to the parking lot. The guy says, well, can I go in and go to the bathroom? The cop says, no, you're being kicked out. You need to leave or you're going to be arrested. They were not leaving, and they got arrested. They were not arrested for shopping too slowly. They were arrested for not shopping, loitering, and then refusing to leave. And it's like, how many, like, there's millions of videos like this, and you read the comments lines, it's all about how much cops hate black people. It's like, no, that, like, you can't be loitering, right? Am I crazy?
I mean, there is something suspicious about walking around the store for over an hour without necessarily picking anything out.
Surely there is. There's something suspicious about taking the electric cart that you don't need as well. And to me, honestly, offensive. Like, that's... Tim, you guys have talked to Tim before. Tim was in Walmart once, and he literally saw a guy who was missing half of his leg from Iraq, who had to wait in the front of the store until one of those carts came back for him because they were all being used. How many of the people using those were either using them because they were too fat and no other reason, or just because they were lazy? How many? Like,
dude,
that's offensive to me.
That's fucking offensive and infuriating. I don't like that one bit. I remember one time I was with some friends. We were probably a little tipsy, and we're like, "Oh, let's take a electric cart." We took one, but I mean, now that I look back on it, I'm like, if I would have returned that cart, and there was like a wounded veteran standing there waiting for the cart to come back, I would have felt like shit, dude.
You would have felt like the biggest dick on the planet.
The biggest fucking douchebag on the planet. Don't take those fucking electric carts unless you really need them, people. Jesus, yeah. What have we become? Like, and there's people of Walmart.com, man. Like, there are tons of people. I see. People of Walmart. That's a great website. I mean,
one of my favorites.
I think we covered that a few years ago, ladies and gentlemen. We've been doing news and covering news for quite some time now. This weekend, the Bilderberg meeting is happening. It's happening right now.
Yeah, I saw Dan Dix posting some pictures.
No press can get anywhere near it. There's a 6-mile radius blocking the compound. This beautiful hotel that you see on my screen share that looks sort of like pyramidal, like a pyramid in Austria. There, surrounded by just gorgeous mountains and mountaintops and all that. That's where the elite like to meet, you know. They could film a Mission Impossible movie at the same time, you know. But these motherfuckers, and Sam, to go back to what you were saying, my mute was messing up, but what I wanted to get to is, can you describe the Bilderberg meeting that you actually protested and attended and made a movie about? Tell everyone when that was, where that was, how much it cost to get there, and if you could also briefly, what you were trying to do is relate it to these Black Lives Matter protesters funded by George Soros traveling from town to town. Who funded you for that, Sam? Go ahead.
Exactly. Always stay out of the carts, by the way. Dad used to use them. Dead serious. The amount of money that it costs to make it to a protest like this is really high. And I'm not including when I give you the price of the gear. First of all, we had no gear. We actually made a movie with a BlackBerry. The getting there in the van, you have to get a hotel room. Now, of course, usually when I travel, and regular listeners of the Saturday edition are going to know, I tend to like little mom and pop motels because I'm usually doing something like snowboarding or going to a concert. I'm not really going to be at the hotel for very long.
You like
So
to
I'll
pay
get a
by
really
the
cheap,
hours.
yeah, the little cheap motels. Well, that's not the case when you go to a protest, because we had to take the hotel that happened to be close, and it was in a really nice area. It was in Chantilly, Virginia. So we ended up at the same hotel I believe Alex Jones was at, and it was like $88 a night. Um, with taxes and everything else, it got close to $100. There were 2 nights. You got to eat. Well, it was there was a steak out back there. There was a Denny's. So McDonald's, stuff like that. Nothing extremely expensive, but you're still going to eat. You're in the sun. You might want to have a beer later. All this stuff costs money. It was probably about $500 to make it. Anybody who wants to see the movie, Alex Jones is in it. Mark Dice is in it. Luke Radowski is in it. It's definitely worth seeing. It shows the police bringing weaponry out to intimidate the protesters. They did not, I stress, point it at us, but brought it out. It's worth seeing for sure. But it amazes me, the George Soros thing. It would cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. You've got buses. Even if you use the little motels that I like. You've got food. You've got at this point it would be toiletries and clothing and just an insane amount of money here. Are any of them diabetics? Are any of them on medicines? How are they getting their medicines to them? Are they arriving at the hotel? Who's paying for the change and postage? All of these things and a million other ones would be woven into that.
Yeah, it is not cheap. Even if you're going to visit relatives or anything, like even if you got hotel covered, it's not cheap. Anytime that I go to visit my mom, it's going to cost me at least $200-300, and she's, like I said, 2 states over in Ohio. Like how and if you're going to all these events, like all right, if you've been in Ferguson, if you've been in Baltimore, if you've been in like 5 different places, like I don't know about you, but it's tough for me to get 1 day off every like 2 months.
Yeah.
Like.
I mean,
I'm very fortunate there in that I work Monday through Thursday as a DJ, and then usually my weekends are off. But a lot of times it becomes an issue of money. As we mentioned a couple weeks ago, I went to Judas Priest about 3 hours away, and then had gone to Exodus and Testament, also 3 hours away 2 weeks before it. And we haven't really left the within a 20-mile radius of where we are for anything other than business since. Because you got to, normal people, the people I know, have to regroup after a series of trips like that. We don't have George Soros helping us, do you like?
Yeah, we don't have George Soros, but I mean, to our credit, something that we've all been involved in, we do have InfoWars to thank, and their ability to send, their reporters and personnel to Austria. And I mean, I have a membership. I mean, my $10 a month helped this happen. I don't know what else to tell you, but Bilderberg welcomes interest. Oh, they do. Well, shutting down freedom of the press. And this Policia in Austria is challenging Rob Du there of the media, or the InfoWars. And
Does that Rob do with the beer?
yeah, he's got a beer in his hand. They're just getting harassed by InfoWars reporters harassed, followed by cops miles away from site of elitist meeting. Bilderberg welcomes the interest, but they're getting shots, like this far away. If you can see my screen share, the hotel there far away. See how it looks like a pyramid. This is where the Bilderbergers are meeting. Now, just this week, Sam, we have a new employee at StickerJunkie.com where you can make stickers and say whatever you want. And my other coworker and I, he works in shipping. We were asking the new girl, yeah, Bilderberg, have you ever heard of it? She's all, build a bear? Build a what?
What everyone
She didn't
said.
get it. She's never heard of it. And then we tried explaining it. Sam, and then maybe Kyle, if you could each throw in your thoughts and opinions, how would you explain Bilderberg to someone that has never heard of it?
Sam,
I went first.
you go first.
Oh, okay, all right. I would describe it as an illegal meeting of the most powerful people in the world. And by illegal, it's defined as, and I say roughly because each country is going to define this slightly different, but pretty much in all free nations, it is illegal for the group's leaders, I should say the country's leaders, for their lawmakers, for their power brokers, movers, shakers, corporation owners, bankers. It's illegal for them to all meet without the minutes being kept, without media access to it. It is illegal to do that because of the potential to do things like sell out your own country. Does that mean that everybody that attends this confab is somehow wanting to see the end of their country? No, that's not the point. The point I would say is twofold. First of all, you can understand how this could be a problem if it happens all the time with no coverage, as has been happening for over 50 years. Second of all, read the Logan Act, and you will see clearly how it's illegal in this country, exactly the way it's illegal in this country. I can't speak to the specifics of Austria, but I can promise you that it in some way breaks Austrian law as well, because there is a commonality among free nations. That's how I would describe it.
I would try and be simple. I would say it is a secret meeting. I would say that it is a secret meeting held every 2 years? A secret meeting held every 2 years. Every year?
Yeah.
Where the leaders of industry, government, and banking all get together to talk behind closed doors and media. No one is allowed in, and nobody knows what they say. And at that point, I would ask, do you trust all those people to have secret conversations? Like, as simple as that.
Okay. And I have the full list of attendees. It would be really too long to read, but everyone please check that out at various websites. Just put it in Google.
Could you check how close that hotel is to the Bergdorf where Hitler retreated with the beautiful view? Because it looks so much to me like that. It looks like we're typing the Hitler retreat. It's called the Bergdorf, but I don't remember how to spell it. That's all I can do to say it.
I'm going to come up on Google Maps, and then I'm going to have to figure everything out. Look, just as we scroll down the list, there's USA. Thomas Donilon, former U.S. National Security Advisor, partner and vice chair of O. Melvini and Myers LLP, whatever. U.S. Henry Kissinger. Yeah, great. Thank you. Yeah.
Of course.
And, yeah, of course, he's always there.
David Rockefeller turned 100.
Rockefeller. Keep in mind there's a bunch of gay sex that goes on there as well.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
That's more of a boho thing. That's more of a Bohemian Grove thing, the peeing on dudes and stuff.
Yeah, they like to do that. Well, you know what? I think
the Bohemian Grove?
Pee on each other.
The Bohemian Grove. I think there's just something about wooded areas that make world leaders get like really gay. But on their list of things to talk about this year, Kyle, number 1 is artificial intelligence. I guess it's in alphabetical order, but cybersecurity, chemical weapons threats, current economic issues. Now, they don't tell you which way their thinking is on any of these things. These are just the topics. European
so, yeah,
strategy.
You read the list, like, oh, good, you should be discussing these things.
Oh, globalization, Greece, Iran, Middle East, again, alphabetical order, NATO, Russia, terrorism, United Kingdom, USA, U.S. elections, and Hillary Clinton's Jim Messina's there, and like Goldman Sachs is there, and like there's been a lot of reports this past week that Bilderberg is supporting a Hillary Clinton presidency in 2016. And how do you feel about that, Sam?
That's awful. That's absolutely twisted. The undermining of again, how many of the people there are Republicans? The undermining of their own supposed party.
Yeah.
Going on in front of them, and they won't break the silence and talk to the media. And again, there's really only one Republican that I'm rooting for at all, and that's Rand, unless Justin Amish were to get in.
Yeah. Did you see?
But still, you've got how many Republicans are watching Jeb Bush or in Rubio get undermined here and not saying anything?
Did you see Neil Cavato of Fox News had Henry Kissinger on for an interview? He didn't mention Bilderberg in any way, so don't look for that to happen. But he starts questioning Kissinger about Rand Paul. And Kissinger's like, I disagree with him. Why am I not dead yet? Okay, Kyle, I don't know if you saw that interview, but
I didn't. But by the way, I don't know if you. I did proclaim on Facebook, and I'm sticking to it. I'm not voting for Rand Paul.
yeah.
Fuck you being on the Republican ticket. Sorry, I'm not. I can't do it. I'm not gonna fucking sway. I'm not gonna vote for a Republican. I don't care how close you seem to be. I can't trust you. You're a fucking menace.
You know
I'm
what?
not gonna trust you.
If Ron Paul had the fucking nutsack that I thought he had, he would have fucking left the Republicans and ran Libertarian at the very end there.
He
He
still
still had time. He still had time to switch. He could have switched, but he just bailed out.
He still could. Remember, Gary Johnson did it after the Republican debates.
Gary Johnson started Republican, went Libertarian. If Ron Paul did the same thing, he might have won the first, Libertarian presidency.
Like I said, I'm likely,
but the whole plan shifted right after the Bilderberg meeting. And I put out that report about the Bilderbergers said they wanted to kill Ron Paul in an airplane crash. Jesus, and it's all tying together.
Yes. I would like to see. The thing is, I would like to see Justin Amish in, and I would also. I imagine if Judge Napolitano ever ran, I have a feeling that he would run as Republican. Unfortunately,
maybe not naked all the way, but at least shirtless. Have you guys noticed that? Do you guys know who Martin O'Malley is?
No.
Former governor, and he's going to run for president on the Democrat side. I don't think he's been on the cover of Drudge Report with his shirt on. Every picture that Matt Drudge posts of Martin O'Malley, he's got his shirt off.
Oh, really? Is he a sexy dude?
Yeah, he's like a sexy dude. They're saying he's like the young JFK.
I still can't trust him. He's a Democrat.
Martin O'Malley.
I'm curious to see. When you type him in Google Images, I want to see how many images come up with him with his shirt off. He's like the American version of Putin.
I'm just going to put in Martin O'Malley images. I didn't type shirtless. I didn't type anything like that. Let's see how many. Okay, well, there he's got his shirt and tie on. Now, if I put in Martin O'Malley Drudge Report.
All right. Oh, there you go. There you go. First
shirtless, right? Sleeveless, playing a banjo, looking serious. Him versus Hillary. I mean, he's going to run against Hillary for the Democrat primary, but I mean,
I don't see me voting for him. But how does he pair up against Hillary in terms of what they are in favor of?
As far as pectoral muscles and abdomens go and biceps, I'd give him the win.
Yeah, but he's still not more. Let's face it, he's still not more manly than Hillary.
That's true. Not more manly.
He's more manly than Obama, and that's what people want right now.
They want a dude who can rock no shirt. That's what they want.
We want the first shirtless president.
The first shirtless president.
All his meetings and all his speeches, he never has a shirt on.
And he just, like, over the course, like, you know how they always show, like, 3 years into a presidency, they'll be like, look at how gray Obama's gotten, or look at how gray Clinton's gotten. And being the president really ages you. They show him, and he just gets, like, more and more muscular.
Yeah, he's like Hugh Jackman. Like, each movie is just, like, more ripped.
Yeah.
You are gonna fuck it. Okay, I'm getting carried away here on Google Images. Sam, what do you have today in science? Go for it, Sam. Kyle, if you could sing a Sam science song real quick, that'd be great.
Sam blinded me with science.
Oh no, my theme song has vanished.
There it is. Well, I'm having issues.
Welcome to News from the Science Front. Got two of them. One of them came up while I was on the air, so I'm going to zip through it. The other one I thought was interesting, and I'm leading with it because it's summertime, it's warm. Lemonade you're making, whatever. This, and for those of you that don't know, too much sugar has been found to not necessarily cause cancer, though it can. It helps it grow. Sugar is food for cancer. Health concerns of refined sugar. Average American consumes 150 pounds of sugar per year. And this is by Dr. Edward Group. Sugar consumption has steadily risen in recent years. The USDA has found that the average American consumes around 150 pounds of sugar a year. Carbonated sodas are a major source of refined sugars with the American diet. Energy drinks are close behind, and even commercial fruit juices are working against us. It says some of these fruit drinks now have more additives and sugars, such as 90% or more, than they actually have of fruit, and the fruit is stripped of any fiber. It says the health dangers of sugar. The World Health Organization recommendation for sugar is no less than 10% of calories, but arguably this recommendation should be much less. It says those that are overweight, pre-diabetic, or suffering from any kind of health issue should limit and avoid sugar. Free sugar, meaning sugar that isn't bound to the fiber in the fruit, can lead to inflammation, blood sugar instability, and over time type 2 diabetes. Basically they're using
Sam,
sugar and
Sam, can it lead to emotional distress and being a bitch? I ate too much sugar and I am being a bitch. Can it lead to bitchiness, Sam?
I think that might be irreversible too. Like the first sign is bitchness and the second sign is man tits. I'm sure of it. But basically what the country is doing is the same thing with sugar they are with salt. It's a cheap additive. There are ways to make things taste just as sweet without using sugar. For instance, honey is a great way to do that. But people do that. It's more expensive and it's just easier not to. So many people simply don't. But I wanted to point it out because I'm somebody who enjoys candy and all kinds of things like it. But I found that there are ways to cut it out by eliminating pop and various things like it that help. If you are going to drink pop, make sure it's sugar instead of high fructose corn syrup. Otherwise, you're getting it twice. And then the other thing that fell in my lap right as we went to air, this is from the EnviroReporter.com. This is not good. Alpha radiation clouds Los Angeles air, and this just fell onto me today. The first summer 2015 EnviroReporter.com air radiation analysis for Southern California draws a significant uptick in alpha and beta, according to dust analysis completed June 1st. Results show radiation registering at 3 to 5.7% of background levels. That means that the dust in its entirety was over 3 times the background radiation. The U.S. Government Protection Agency considers radiation 3 times background to be significant. So slowly but surely working its way over. There's tons of science in the article. I don't want to eat up the entire show with news from the science front, but for those following the radiation issues, both from the Los Angeles plants, I should say California plants that are unstable, as well as radionuclides from Fukushima getting on the food you're going to eat and whatnot. Make sure you look this up. I tied it in with the sugar because I wanted to do at least a little bit of talk about how you've got a little bit too much sugar. Well, that's not a big deal. It's probably not going to hurt you. Well, there's a little bit too much radiation in the food. It's got a little bit too much sugar, but it probably won't hurt you. At what time do all these things that aren't going to hurt you finally hurt you? And I guess that is my news from this time.
Excellent report, Sam. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I've been trying to cut back sugar. What about you, Kyle?
I should try to cut back sugar. I have been listening to a lot of stuff about, like Sam said, how the actual recommended amount of sugar is actually higher than what it should be anyways.
And the radiation that you're allowed to have is higher than it should be. And they work in tandem, unfortunately.
Did you see all those
sugar
cube ratios on my screen share? Like it was like a McDonald's, a bag of Skittles, this and that, a Twinkie, and it had like the amount of.
Did you know that fast food chains put their lettuce through a sugar water bath for their salads?
I had Wendy's yesterday. You're not making me feel any better.
No, I mean.
But have you guys followed? Do you guys follow Kevin?
I might do it. That sounds like something I might do at home, or I might use a sugar substitute like honey, like Sam said. Maybe I should honey soak my lettuce.
Honey
Oh, yeah.
soak your lettuce. That's what we do. Do you guys follow Kevin Smith on like Twitter, Instagram, or anything at all?
I follow him like sort of like when he does something cool on YouTube.
He's on his Facebook. He's been posting a lot of stuff, and he's talked about it on his podcast a little bit. How he's been trying to cut sugar out of his diet because he's just been a dude who eats a lot of junk food. He's been really honest about that, but
Me too.
he's been trying to cut back a lot, and he's been trying to do like vegetable shakes and stuff. There's a picture that he posted just recently that I'm gonna try and find here really quickly. Here we go. You can see this on my screen share. That's Kevin Smith wearing the same suit that he wore, like the premiere of Dogma or something like that. And look at how thin Kevin Smith is. He's lost something like 80 pounds in the past like 2 months just by cutting sugar out of his diet, and not even cutting it out 100%, just trying to avoid it. He's lost 80 fucking pounds.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so I think that's awesome and good for Kevin Smith. And I mean that just shows you like he's not going hardcore. He's not crossfitting. He's just, eating some healthy shakes a few times a day and trying to cut back on sugar. And he's lost 80 pounds.
Yeah, I want to give a quick shout out to my friend Vinny Straub, PTP. PTP
I know that guy.
is here, the rapper. Him, Steve Grant, others, people that we've talked to that they're all about like organics and good vegetable salads and apple cider vinegar and cool shit like that. And like, I'm like, when I go to the grocery, those guys make me, think about what I'm purchasing. And
I try and do it a little bit,
like to look at the labels and wish that maybe there was a little bit more labeling.
Yeah, yesterday I took some. I was hungry, didn't have that much food in the house. I had a little bit of some bouillon cubes, some beef bouillon cubes. So I took those, took some potatoes. Got some lettuce from my garden, some radishes from my garden, a little bit of parsley from my garden, and I made myself up a nice little soup.
Hey, another trick to that is if you don't have a lot of food in the house, is to get food from other people's gardens. It works really well.
Well,
my next door neighbors just built these like box crates in their front yard, and I'm like, are there gonna be like vegetables in those? Like they haven't started to plant yet, but they built basically planter boxes, and they have them in the front yard, 4 of them, and I'm like, what's gonna be in there? My cats are like creep around them. They're like, what's gonna be in here? Like,
yeah, like is there gonna? Yeah, my garden, it's only about half planted right now. I got a ton of plants that I'm actually gonna plant today. We got radishes, parsley, carrots, lettuce. I got 5 watermelon plants. I know that sounds like a lot, but there's no such thing as too much watermelon. And today I'm gonna plant some tomatoes. What else did I buy? I bought tomatoes, rosemary, cilantro, a few things that I'm gonna, cucumbers that I'm gonna put in there. Like it doesn't hurt.
I had
Everybody can
potatoes
have a
that looked
garden.
like they started to grow in my cupboard, so I planted them, and they really did grow.
Potatoes?
Yeah, you know how you ever leave a potato just a little bit too long, and it just keeps
It'll
growing.
start to grow.
Can't grow, so I planted it. I didn't think it would work. I thought it was too far into it. Nope, they're back there.
Yeah, then you got potatoes. We're thinking about doing a potato box. Probably not this year, but next year. So I feel like we're drifting into entertainment. I went and saw last weekend. We saw Mark Maron. I missed the show because of it, but we saw. Or I don't know if you guys are familiar with Mark Maron. We saw the filming of his stand-up special.
oh yeah, comedy, was it good?
Oh yeah, it was great. We took Megan's brother and dad.
0.9 millisieverts, do you like?
You're
Sorry,
on
Kyle,
mute.
he screen shared and it sucked me in. See, that's how entertainment does it.
Yeah. But yeah, so when Mark Maron's special comes out, we might be in it. You'll see me and Megan laughing our asses off and her brother and dad sitting next to us not laughing at all. It's going to be a whole bunch of fun. You guys do anything?
Hold on. I was trying to set up because I know Sam has some entertainment news lined up. Sam.
Yes, friends. Unfortunately, as we do commentary over the song, which is legal to do, we have the people that died. I've been giving you interviews with Exodus and Testament telling you to go to the Sam DeGangi site on YouTube. I've been giving you life. I've been giving you shows, and now, unfortunately, the people that died. Dusty Rhodes. Virgil Runnels, the man known to generations of pro wrestling fans as Dusty Rhodes, died Thursday. WWE confirms he was 69. I remember my parents took me to the Coliseum when I was like 8 or 9 years old, and I got to meet him and Roddy Piper and a few other people, and it was really cool. And I'm not going to go into like who he was if you don't like wrestling. I don't really watch wrestling anymore because I don't have time. People that watch it knowing that it's a soap opera for guys who like sports, I think are fine. People who watch it because they think it's a sport, it greatly concern me. There's something wrong with you. But Dusty Rhodes was a great entertainer and a good athlete in terms of the kind of athletics that he did, meaning, you can't be talentless and be a professional wrestler. Unfortunately, Dusty Rhodes is gone. Was Rolling Stone. And even worse, independent.co.uk, Sir Christopher Lee dies of 93. Lord of the Rings. He was my favorite Dracula, except for maybe Bella himself. He did a heavy metal album as recently as 6 months ago. That was good.
Wait, what? I didn't know that part.
He's made many heavy metal albums. At 93 years old, he made a heavy metal album that was worth listening to. Excellent actor. If you don't know who he is, as soon as you look him up online, you'll instantly know. He has been.
Nobody mentions Star Wars.
Huh?
Nobody mentions that he was in Star Wars. That part always gets like quickly glossed over.
What was he? Who was he in Star Wars? I saw.
What was his name, D-Lake? He was fucking... Yeah, Count Dooku.
Count Dooku.
Ah.
Count Dooku in the prequels. He was famously Dracula. I'm sure you said that. I was just fixing my sound. Of course,
that's where I found him. That's where I'm looking at it right now. That's where I found him.
Of course. What was his name in Lord of the Rings? He was at Mordor. He was the there he is, the evil wizard. Lord of the Rings. He is releasing a metal album, Sam, on his 92nd birthday, Metal Injection. Of course, Dracula, we all remember Christopher Lee from that, but he has just passed away at 93 years old, Sam. Is that correct?
And you know what? And not that it's good, but...
Oh, yeah, Saruman. I'm sorry, Sam, Saruman. His name was Saruman in Lord of the Rings.
Saruman. Oh, all right. Let me see your screen share. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
The good thing is that he was active and healthy. It shows him. He had a cane, but he was walking around. He had enough air in his lungs to sing, and he didn't. And he actually sung his metal music. He was able to act almost all the way to the end. He knew that everyone loved him where he went. He never did anything that you really look back and think, "Oh, that sucked," or "Oh, he was rotten because he did this." He lived an awesome life, and it was good to see. Dusty Rhodes at 69, that's way too young. In this day and age, that's really young. But at 93 years old, to give you some idea what that is, Christelle is 26, and she said when she heard about Christopher Lee passing that her grandmother was getting old. I said, Christopher Lee was so old that your grandmother was your age. Or that Christopher Lee, was your age when your grandmother was born. 93 healthy years, so that's good to report on.
My grandfather passed away at 91. Yeah, amazing. Like, I'm glad to know in my family that we have a long, historic.
Hell yeah, my family doesn't, so it's good to hear that you do.
Yeah, my mom's in her 60s and she's still alive and kicking. My dad died in his 50s. That doesn't give me like a lot of hope, but but in my entertainment news, I've been watching Wayward Pines on Fox.com. The truth about what's next. And last night's episode was a mind fuck, and it's like, what the fuck? And they've been leading me on this mystery to know what's happening next, and the scientist guy is the scientist or something, and Matt Dillon is trapped in this town, and then he escapes, and then his son finds out the truth last night. But is it really the truth, Kyle? And because it seems like government agents sent him there on this mission and sent his family there. So, like, what's real, what's not? There's killer aberrations out in the woods that will kill you, or at least collect your dead body or something. Kyle, I mean, have you heard about Wayward Pines? That's my entertainment.
This is the first that I've heard of it. It sounds all right though, and it's on Fox. You can watch it on there for free.
Yeah. I just watched episode 5 that aired on June 11th, Rihanna's birthday, just on Thursday, and I watched that last night on Friday night. That was episode 5, and it's a 10-episode miniseries starring Matt Dillon. I would say starring Juliette Lewis and Terrence Howard, but they're already dead by episode 3.
Fuck.
Terrence
So that
Howard
was a cameo.
Well, I guess you'd call it a cameo. It says starring this, that, and the other, but they were dead by the second and third episodes.
And it's about what again?
It's on FoxNews.com. It starts out that an FBI agent has to go find these other FBI agents in this small town, then sort of learns that he's trapped inside the town. Everyone in the town is weird. They have their own laws and rules. And then on last night's episode called, like, The Truth, I don't know how much of the truth is the truth, but they're suggesting that we are far, like 2,000 years into the future or something. I don't know, guys. It's really trippy.
Shows like that don't work for me because of the internet. Like, even if you were trapped, even if you were trapped in a random town, like, you just go on the internet. You know?
There's no internet in this town, bro. He can't even make a fucking outgoing phone call.
He looks like he's in the middle of the woods. Yeah, I don't think it's about
the first few episodes are all about being trapped in the town. Like, I recommend it, and that's my entertainment news. I haven't really watched any good movies lately because there hasn't really been a lot of good movies like coming out on Redbox and stuff. I don't want to watch 50 Shades of Grey.
No.
I like SpongeBob, but I'm not gonna get the movie. Or I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it. That one looks funny, but
I watched Forrest Gump.
I'm like,
Watched Forrest Gump the other day. I watched The Dirty Dozen.
Oh, so you're seeking out the classics.
Yeah. I watched. What other classics did I watch? I finished Saved by the Bell last week. I watched everything because they put it all up on all 6 seasons. Where they graduate at the end of season 5, but then they come back for season 6 like they never graduated, which is kind of weird. Watch Forrest Gump. Jenny's a bitch.
Jenny.
Yeah,
Jenny, you bitch. Jenny.
You can marry me once I have AIDS.
No, yeah, she married fucking Sean Penn in real life, and she's the wife on House of Cards. Have you ever watched House of Cards?
I watched like 1 episode.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't get into it. I hear the British version's really good.
Jenny. No, I like House of Cards. I think it's good. But, Kyle, if you could for just a minute address the movie Forrest Gump, and I'd like to hear Sam's opinions about the movie if he's ever seen it.
Forrest Gump is a lovely movie about a retarded guy who happened to be everywhere. The end.
I went to see it when it came out because the girl that I was dating wanted to see it. I would describe it as a story about this incredibly lucky. What he lacked for in intelligence, he had made up for in luck, and it's a very well-written story. It's probably one of the most well-written stories like that come to mind. It was a great acting job, I would say, by Hanks too, because he's believable in the role. He doesn't overdo it. It's real easy to overdo that.
I would like to go home now. The best part, that picture of him when he's running. I love that part of the movie because it shows how people will put meaning behind shit where there is no meaning just because they need something to, like, hold on to. It's like all those people started following him running, and they're like, he's running for this, and he's running for that. It means something, and, like, then he's just like, I am done running, and they're like, what do we do now? It's like, I'm gonna go home. Like, kind of reminds me how a lot of people are with other things in life. They ascribe way too much meaning to things.
And Sam?
I think my favorite part of Forrest Gump would probably be the where he's not the part he's talking about where he's running, but where he gets shot in the ass. I don't want to give the movie away to those.
Oh yeah.
I
No,
like Lieutenant Dan. I'm all about Lieutenant Dan.
which
Lieutenant
came
Dan.
first, the man or the liquor? You know Lieutenant Dan Rum?
Oh.
There's a Lieutenant Dan Rum. It's like a
Really?
shitty version of Captain Morgan. Yeah.
That's got to be named after the character in the
It
movie.
gotta
right?
be, yeah.
I don't think so. And then there's Admiral Nelson too. You guys haven't ever heard of Lieutenant Dan?
No, but
Yeah.
I would so drink a shot of Lieutenant Dan. You can count if we ever get a chance to meet up again. We have to do a shot.
Yeah, we got to do shots of Lieutenant Dan, and the whole time we're like,
Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan,
Chriselle,
Lieutenant
will you
Dan.
do a shot of Lieutenant Dan? She said yes.
All right. When next time that we're all out, I'll get a bottle of Lieutenant Dan. I'll get
I'm
some
gonna drink a
Admiral
shot of-
Nelson.
I'll drink a bottle of Lieutenant Dan and eat some Jenny.
Oh
Alright.
God, we have to go on
No,
air
we
after
need
doing
to-
a
You'll
bottle
get
of
AIDS.
Lieutenant Dan.
We need a box of chocolates. You never know what's in it.
Refined sugar.
What do you got, Kyle?
I'm showing you Lieutenant Dan here. Can you see it on my screen share, or do I have the wrong screen shared?
I'm on your screen
Is it
share, but
working?
I'm not seeing it.
Oh, that's... Here, let me try again. Pull it up here. Yeah, I
on,
used to
Lieutenant
drink
Dan.
Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant
Avidly.
Dan, you got legs. Got legs, Lieutenant Dan.
See?
Look how
Can you see
talks.
this? It'd be cool if the bottle had,
My computer's being
had
useful.
like fake legs.
Yeah.
You got legs.
No, it's not.
It's red. It looks like hot sauce. Oh, I see it now.
No, yeah, it's just like off-brand of Captain Morgan.
Okay.
Pretty cheap stuff. It's usually like $10 a bottle.
All right.
I would so try a shot of Lieutenant Dan.
Surprised
Okay.
Maybe that's only like an Illinois thing. Maybe they don't have it by you guys.
We've
You know what?
the
Do
show
you guys have not your father's root beer?
Yeah, we have it. Of course we do. We have everything.
I haven't
Angry
seen that,
Orchard?
but I'm sure it's out there.
We have ton of.
Like,
Angry Orchards is national.
I'm sorry, like 2 weeks ago we were talking about that apple cider, and I'm like, I've
Well,
never heard of
we
it.
could all mail each other. Taste flavors of where you are. Is
That's
that even legal?
bootlegging. That is illegal, but I'll do it. I'm not gonna not do it because it's illegal. But I think it is illegal.
See, I don't want to take any chance. Well, Kyle, listen. We know that the government has our best interests. Maybe because you're in Illinois, maybe Lieutenant Dan doesn't hurt people in Illinois. But if you send it here, you could say,
You might die.
It could kill me. I don't know if I have any Illinois in me. So it could be dangerous.
Do you have Bubba Gump shrimp there?
Bubba Gump shrimp. Is that a
See,
real
due to
company?
the jet stream, I might have some Illinois air. D-Lake, if I were you, I wouldn't try it at all. It'll kill you.
Unsafe.
All right, you
Unsafe
guys.
for Californians.
You guys are nuts. I think it's been a good show. Kind of wish I was in Austria this weekend at the Bilderberg meeting, but again, this year my invite got lost in the fucking mail. I mean, I'm like, I'm D-like for prez. I should be the next president. They're like, nah, I don't know. Henry Kissinger's like, I don't like him. I disagree with him.
Wonder if anybody's periscoping from Bilderberg. Maybe you can be there in spirit. Do you like?
If I could just be one of those Cobra Commander guys on the rooftop, just like, or stopping the paragliders from kamikaze paragliding into the building, or one thing that I wanted to point out real quick is two things. One, I don't see
Point out
any,
one.
I don't see any well, if I had to choose between the two, it would be the second
You
one.
do.
But I'm just going to
Yeah.
spit out the first one is that I don't see a lot of Russians on that Bilderberg attendee list. Second of all, I posted a comment on a Bilderberg, InfoWars Bilderberg video the other day that said, what if? Because you guys remember those what if comic books? I love what if
Yes.
scenarios. What if Cobra Command and the Austrian Polizia turned the tables, flipped the script, pulled a 180, and turned that 6-mile radius compound that's meant to keep reporters and the public out? What if, in turn, they used it to keep everyone attending Bilderberg this week in?
They were asking them to
And
do
we
that.
held them hostage. And some guy commented on my page, oh, America would immediately demand the release of the hostages, and they'd come with warships and this and that. I'm like, no, they won't, because we're going to go to Congress and say we don't want these motherfuckers back. End of story.
Just make it like an island of misfit toys.
Yep. No one's getting in. No one's going out. You
like
put up that fucking border, and you put up that fence to keep us out. But guess what, a-holes? Now we're using it to keep you in. And that luxury hotel that looks like a pyramid in Austria on that mountaintop, that's going to be your prison.
It'll be kind of like Snowpiercer.
Yeah, it's going to be like Snowpiercer. You're going to be like Julian Assange living in the fucking embassy. You can't leave.
He's been there for years.
He's been in there for
no internet.
years.
We cancel your internet.
Henry Kissinger is going to be at that Austrian hotel for the next 5 years until he fucking dies. Kyle, what do you got there?
I'm looking at images that come up when you type into Google, "She buy me weed," though.
Okay, well, that was my final words. That's the last bit that I wanted to say. Kyle, why don't you take a minute for your own rant, and Sam, you too, and then let's call it a show.
Well, what's that? Is that Jennifer Lawrence with her fist in her mouth? Weird things going on.
Click on that one. Where? What?
I'm gonna click on this one. Who are you?
She can eat her whole fist?
All right, never mind.
That would be awesome. My penis would feel very comfortable in there.
No, that's the opposite of what you want. You don't. Never mind.
Yeah, I wanted to just barely fit. Oh, it's so tight.
You want her to like barely be able to get her pinky in there.
Yeah, exactly. I know what you mean. Anyways,
small mouth bitches.
That's your final rant? Come on, man.
Look at this dude's fish. Pretty big fish. This is from kearsims.blog.com. Lure that fish.
It'd be rad if a dolphin jumped up and grabbed it out of his hand. Or
I wonder if he'll ever know that he's been on the Media Speaks.
A golden eagle flies down and takes it.
Lure that fish. Kearsims blog. What does this guy blog about? Okay. Fishing?
So this is
check out
Kearsims. Kyle's live research into a fish story of some kind.
This picture of a fish that I saw. Yeah, that's my rant. The New World Order, the FBI,
We're
CIA.
All like fish in the New World Order.
You know, like it's like you're a frog and you're sitting in the pot, and I'm on the side saying, "Get out of there! Get out of there! They're turning up the heat. They want to eat you." And there's a
weasel.
There's a weasel that's like, no, stay in the water. I'm like, get out of that water.
Great, thank you. Excellent, Kyle. What a brilliant analogy. Sam,
I came up with it myself.
Sam, you're our closer. Sam, you're our closer. Give us your final thoughts and rant. Tell everyone what a great show it was, where they can find us, and then when I feel like you're done, I'm going to end the broadcast.
Mediaspeaks.com is where you can find all three of us. We got videos going up all the time. You can also find The Correct Views, which is my show at youtube.com/thecorrectviews. I'm on Tumblr, which I think I'm the only person who is ever. I don't.
You
mean
and a ton of.
I mean anyone.
No, there's a ton of polyamorous transgender people on there still.
Okay.
And feminists.
The amount
Tumblr
of
has just become.
You can measure the traffic you get from Tumblr in ones.
All those people and Sam.
Yes.
And Sam.
Planet Infowars, I'm on there, and you can donate, find me, contact me, whatever you want at thecorrectviews@hotmail.com. Soothing, like a cup
Well,
of
what's your
warm
final rant, though? Like, we didn't
Jesus
get a
Christ.
rant out of
Find Sam on Hotmail and Tumblr.
that.
Tumblr.
Sam,
I'm telling you, there's nobody on Tumblr. You want to rant. If you want to talk to yourself, open up a Tumblr account, and you can do so like a crazy person. There's nobody there. Crickets, nothing.
So it's just you and one other person and maybe some of the transgender community, like Kyle said, and then you guys just, like, talk to yourselves?
Talk to us. There's nobody to talk to. Yeah.
Can you post videos or pictures? I'm not familiar with Tumblr.
I mean, there's nothing.
That's about all you can do is publish pictures. Pictures of, like, Disney characters with sexual
Isn't there
stuff.
another website called Instagram? That's probably.
I'm afraid to try another one after the disappointment that was Tumblr.
Find Sam on Pinterest.
Find Sam on MySpace.
Oh man! All right, find the Media Speaks on the internet.
Find
If you
Sam
can't find
on
that,
AOL online.
Sam's screen name is CorrectViews69.
Yes. I'm in a tutu. You can't miss
Only because there was already 68 previous incarnations of the name.
And 68
You can find
different
Sam.
tuttus.
He hangs around in the Canton, Ohio chat room on AOL Instant Messenger. You can find him there.
You can find me under the name Tumblr69.
Yes. Start off when you first start talking to Sam on AOL Instant Messenger. Tell him your age / your sex / your location.
Hashtag BBW.
Now it all just went away.
Find new episodes
Sam's
of the
looking
correct.
for petite. Sam likes petite.
Find new episodes of the Correct Views on xnxx.com. Also available on Slutload.
Once that be a real site, and you'll get a flag for promoting porn on the media.
Okay,
Those are real sites.
Now again, Sam, can you tell everyone what a great show it's been?
For sure. If you've learned something off this, it's a miracle. If you've learned something from this, make sure you share it, give it to other people. Again, it is Bilderberg Week, so let other people know what
Post
it is.
it on Tumblr, get the word out.
Put it on Tumblr. Things only roll downhill.
All right.
Pour juice on your chin.
We got it.